Hey there guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with a movie review set in my car. Yeah, I know, this is a little odd. Anyway guys, different setting for this movie review, guys. I'm gonna explain, of course. Yeah guys, I'm gonna be reviewing in this video the Babadook, which is a 2014 Australian horror psychological thriller film. And, yeah, can't wait to start talking about the Babadook. But, before I do, just to explain as to why I am in my car, I'm going to be filming two reviews for two independent films that I watched recently online. Two 2014 releases that I've wanted to see and I have since watched. They both are The Babadook and The Guest. So I watched the both of them online, and I was going to review them in my normal setting, but I just don't have time to set the camera. So I actually just went to see Foxcatcher in the theaters. I just came back. I had my camera on me, so I'm on the street in my car outside of my house, and I'm filming these two reviews now just to get them out of the way so I don't have to just set the camera in my room. I know this isn't the normal surroundings. This is poor of me. I apologize for not using my normal surroundings, guys, but I just wanted to film these reviews and get them done. And then I have a bunch of other videos to go film. I gotta go film my Foxcatcher review. I have to go film my, what do you call it? My Black Friday Blu-ray haul. Got a whole bunch of things to film for you guys, so that's why I'm just shooting this in here real quick. So, different scenery. It's always good. I'm going to try to keep this review shorter than usual because this film has been out for a while now. So, yeah, I'm not going to, go completely in depth like I would probably normally do. So, anyway, guys, yes, I'm going to be reviewing a few smaller films that got limited releases that I didn't get to see in the theaters, but I got to see online. And The Babadook was one of them. Like I said, The Guest is one of them that I just watched last night. Few others I'm going to try to watch. I'm going to try to catch up between now and the end of the year and in watching these films. A few others that I've watched, or I want to watch. There's Camp X-Ray starring Kristen Stewart. There's Frank starring Michael Fassbender. There's a couple others out there, but I'll be watching them and reviewing them and posting those reviews in the coming weeks as we near the end of 2014. So anyway, guys, getting into the Babadook, that was a bit of a little channel update. You know, this is sort of like a vlog movie review. So let me know, guys, if you guys enjoy this. So anyway, guys, the Babadook, like I said, is a 2014 Australian horror thriller film, sort of like a psychological thriller film. And, it was released at the 2014 Sundance Film Festival to a little bit of acclaim. So that's why, it really picked up momentum and it picked up praise of the film. And a lot of people have been raving about it, especially critics. So the Babadook focuses on a really struggling family at this time. A mother and her son. The mother is played by Essie Davis, and the son is played by Noah Wiseman, I believe his name is. And the mother's name is Amelia, and the son's name is Samuel. So the two of them are living alone in this really sort of creepy house, but I guess it just looked creepy because a lot of it was set at night, and it was creepy at night. So I guess that's why. Anyway, yes, this mother and her son, they are dealing with a tragedy. They have been dealing with a tragedy for quite some time. I'm not going to spoil it. And at one point in the film, they begin to sort of be haunted by this really creepy presence known as the Babadook. It begins to sort of terrify them and mess with their minds a little bit in their house. And it all starts when the mother reads a storybook called The Babadook to her son. So Amelia reads Samuel the storybook called The Babadook, and then creepy, haunted things start happening, and now we have our movie, The Babadook. So, the movie is actually directed by a woman, directed by Jennifer Kent. I've never heard of any of her work, but Essie Davis, not a really well-known actor either. There are, honestly, no really well-known actors in this movie, believe it or not, so they were kind of taking a risk with that. But, anyway, guys, The Babadook was actually pretty enjoyable, and it's probably one of the better horror films this year, and the reason is because it's actually a good horror movie that's really not filled with cliches. It's not dumb. It's not filled with dumb characters. And it actually has an interesting story. It may be a story that's, have we seen elements of this story told before in other horror movies? A mother and a son terrorized, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we've seen this before, a child's nightmare, basically read in a book. It's not the most original idea, but the filmmakers actually made it work without including the cliches that we all know and hate, without making the characters dumb, and without having tons and tons of jump scares. And that's what I actually really enjoyed about The Babadook. Now, is it one of the best movies of the year? No. Is it one of the best horror films of the last 10 years? Probably not, but it's one of the better horror films I've seen recently, and it's probably the best horror film I've seen this year. That said, we haven't had that many great horror films this year, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I refuse to see them. Ouija and, what the hell is the other one? Annabelle? Oh, they look terrible. So, nevertheless, I actually found enjoyment in The Babadook. Was I, terrified and, creeped out? Oh my god, this is, the scariest thing I've ever watched in my life? No, I've definitely seen movies that were, a little bit more scary, but, it worked for me. There were some really intense moments, with the sort of slow tension, and there were a lot of interesting moments in the movie where the Babadook sort of messes with the family's mind, and they don't know, what's going on, if it's real or not. The Babadook will, for example, there's a scene in a car, and the Babadook shows up and causes alarm and upset, and eventually leads to a car crash. I'm not really spoiling anything. Nothing major happens, but it turns out nothing was really there, attacking them. The guy who was in the other car gets out of his car and is like, "Wait, what's going on? You drove right into me." They were actually being attacked in the car, but then the thing is gone. So it's sort of messing with their mind, and I kind of like stuff like that. It's like a psychological thriller. Now, just to talk about the two leading performances real quick, just to get them out of the way, they're actually very good, and this is one of the best things about The Babadook, actually. The two leads are very good in the movie. Essie Davis is really good. One of the better female performances I've seen from a female this year. I gotta say, is she gonna get an Oscar nomination or anything? No, but she was really good in the movie. It's interesting to see her character just break. And this thing eventually gets this family to break. She even, at points in this film, turns on her own son and outbursts on her own son. It's all because of this thing called the Babadook that is haunting this family and creeping them out. And it just takes a major toll on her, and she cracks. And she was really good in the movie. The last 20 minutes, she was excellent. There are scenes where she's got to scream at her kid. You have to fuel all that anger, and it really pulled off. I bought her performance to the key. She was really good in the movie. And then the kid who played, Noah Wiseman is his name. The kid actor who played the kid in the movie was really good as well. Noah Wiseman. He's very innocent. He's very cute at times, but he's basically like the Kevin McAllister. The Australian Kevin McAllister, okay? That is this kid. Because he makes several weapons and stuff, and it sort of reminded me of Kevin McAllister from Home Alone. That's just how I feel. But Macaulay Culkin had nothing to do with this movie. That's the only difference. But he's like the miniature 7-year-old version of Kevin McAllister. He makes a dart gun, and then he makes a launching baseball thing on his back, like a backpack. It was pretty freaking awesome. So there's some really interesting creative moments in this movie. There are some moments that we've seen before. This movie it's not like it's entirely original, but I definitely did get creeped out in a moment or two. I jumped once, and it wasn't because there were jump scares in the movie, because this movie doesn't rely on jump scares. There's not a scene where the Babadook thing jumps out of nowhere and and then they blast this crazy music. That didn't happen in this movie. And although I never hated jump scares, it's definitely not a favorite of most people, and that's why people turn away from those types of horror movies. But with the Babadook, you're safe. You're not going to find any jump scares, which is why this movie worked. And again, the other thing I really liked about this movie was that the script actually worked, and it actually was smart, and it actually was creepy. It actually had its tension-filled moments, and it was even emotional at moments. You sort of felt bad for this mother and her son having to deal with this thing, dealing with the weight of the previous tragedy that happened to them. You really felt it, and I definitely felt it in this movie. There's a really emotional scene as well, a few of them actually, and the last 20 minutes are completely original. I loved the ending of this movie. All that taken into account, I'm going to give the Babadook a solid B grade, or an 8.5 out of 10. I rather enjoyed it, guys. I definitely recommend you check it out at some point. It's definitely a movie I recommend you watch. If you have to pay to see it, I would say pay to see it, cheap price, you know, like a matinee, but it's definitely worth seeing in theaters. I don't even know if it's in theaters anymore. Like I said, I saw it online. And then, yeah, so those are all the things that I loved about the movie. Getting into a few things I loved about the movie. I thought it was well shot and well directed. The lighting was great, and I thought the atmosphere was very dark and creepy, and it really worked. It felt like a horror film with this like psychological thing called the Babadook freaking this family out, and it's basically their battle to get this thing out of their house and figure out what's going on. And I like all that with the movie. But yeah, as I said, Jennifer Kent did a good job directing. The movie was well shot, it was well lit, it was dark, it was gloomy, it was creepy. I like that with the film. What else? The performances were great, the script was pretty good, the ending was really good, and like I said, the atmosphere was really interesting. It felt like a creepy, intense psychological thriller, and I liked that. All that taken into account, I do have two flaws with the film. One of them being the editing was a little odd in that they used a lot of like quick cuts. Like say a character is doing something, they'll quickly cut to a completely different location, and the characters are doing something completely different, and I don't know, my brain just like wasn't expecting that. I was just like, whoa, that was just, how the hell did they get there? So there's a few moments like that I didn't particularly care for in the film. And there's also, like I said, there are a few instances where you can tell that, you know, there's a bit of formula going on with the story. Other than that, though, the movie is original. It doesn't have jump scares, it doesn't have dumb characters, and it doesn't have those cliches that we've come to know and hate. So that's why the Babadook works, and I rather enjoyed it. So 8.5 out of 10 or a B. Definitely recommend you guys check it out at some point. And let me know what you think of mini Kevin McAllister down below in the comments. I'm kidding. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, sorry for the change of scenery. Sorry for the fact I'm shooting this in my car. But I had to in order to save time. Yeah, stay tuned for my review of The Guest. My review of Foxcatcher should already be up, and my Black Friday haul should already be up as well. I'm planning to upload this after. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.